Ready? All right. Coach, whatever.
Okay. Just to wrap up from Tuesday's game, I mean, watching back the film, and we played really well. We almost played near perfect as you could offensively. I mean, we were really good. I wish we could, or I hope, wish, whatever it may be, to bottle that up and play like that every game. But we were outstanding and did a lot of great things. And school record 18 made threes, and Miles Kelly career high, Kyle Sturdivant career high, right? Moose, Jayvon Franklin triple double. You look at the job that Debo did with 8 assists, which might have been a career high for 8 assists, and just he did a great job defensively. And Lance Terry, career high 7 threes. So it was just a great basketball game for us, and we've been playing better. We've really improved. I mean, I'm just proud of the guys, and I've said it multiple times now. There was one stretch there we were at the depths of the ocean, and we resurfaced for air, which is not easy to do. It's hard when you've hit the depths of it and you're trying to get back up to get some air, and we've been able to resurface. So really proud of our guys. Got a great opportunity on Saturday versus a really good Boston College team that's been playing really well. Coach Grant does a great job. Very good coach. Team is good. They're sound. They're fundamental. They play great defense. They've had great wins. Quentin Post, who, we tried to recruit, wanted him really bad. I left my family in Florida on vacation to go to be here on his official visit. It didn't help because he went to Mississippi State. Maybe I should have stayed in Florida, and he might have come. But maybe I need to ask him, is he going to reimburse Georgia Tech for the flight going back and forth from Florida and Atlanta? Of course, I'm joking on that. But Quentin Post is really good. We really wanted him. Obviously, he selected Mississippi State. And it just shows you in recruiting, you just don't know because he didn't play at Mississippi State or very little. But our evaluation was correct on him. We always thought he was going to be a chance to be a really good player, and just unfortunately we didn't get him. He's a good player, and Boston Coach Grant and his staff has done a great job with him. So Quentin's a really good player, and they've got other guys. I mean, they've got multiple guards who are good. They've got a good team, and they've won really good games, and that's a credit to Coach Grant. And we'll have to be really good on Saturday if we're going to have a chance to win.
Last couple of games, you've started the second half really well. Does that have anything to do with going into the locker room at halftime with a positive feeling?
Yeah, I'm sure it helps. I've since this second half run, I've had our strength and conditioning coach Eddie DeMoss do a lot of foam rolling and stretching and Theraguns, because we were, for whatever reason, we weren't good coming out of halves in January. We just had a bad stretch coming out of halves in January. So I said we were trying to think about doing less time in the halftime, doing more, not coming on the court stories, and eventually we just I was because we were trying everything to have better halves or starting the second half better. So this has worked to this point. This has been doing a lot of stretching, Theraguns, and foam rolling at halftime, and doing some different things, just to try to keep them warm so when we get on the court to kind of keep some momentum going in the second half.
I was talking with Kyle, and one thing he was saying about just the way the team started playing better is that he seemed to think in practice guys were maybe going harder, maybe being more accountable to each other. Is that something that you've seen?
I thought, Ken, I think we've had and I've said it, we've had really good practices. I think maybe we've done a lot more 5-on-5 in practice than maybe I believe in doing 5-on-5 because that's what the game is, but maybe some more parts in January we're looking again, because you're examining everything when you're not doing well. You're examining every little part of everything just to see how can you make course corrections and solutions. And I felt looking back at something, maybe we weren't doing enough 5-on-5 in practice, doing a lot more half court drill breakdown, making sure, and I said, we got to do a lot more 5-on-5, which we've done. Maybe less about the opponent and more about just us on 5-on-5 and just getting up and down. And it's it's been good for us.
Randy.
I guess there are a number of ways to describe Debo's value, especially here recently. How would you describe it? I mean, some people would say, "Oh, he's sacrificing shooting for handling and distributing," or what? What are your thoughts on his maturation and so on?
Yeah, Randy. Look, Debo's an integral part of what we're doing, and if you told me that, sort of like as I mentioned, like the Pitt game or the Syracuse game, we had 96 points, and and if you said he was 2 for 12 from three, I said that's gonna be hard to do, but he needed a couple that went in and out. Debo, though, like in the Pitt game, 8 assists, his toughness defensively. He just did some great things that don't always show up in the box score. He's taken charges, took a huge charge in that transition that time. I mean, he's playing great. And it's the same thing kind of versus Pitt. Him and Lance, and I'll get to my point in a second, him and Lance combined for 3 total points in the game versus Pitt, and we had a shot to win the game. I say all that to say that I think that's 2 things. One, it shows our evolution of our team, that we've gotten better, that we're able to play well even if one of our best guys, is off on that night of shooting or scoring. But the second thing I would tell you, that it also shows you what Debo's value of what he's doing, other things that maybe doesn't show up in the box score, that he's making so many winning plays. That maybe not always the naked eye catches, that he's just helping us win for what he's doing, and it doesn't always have to be about points. And what he's doing is he's going to make his shots because he's a really good shooter, but he's been a winner and made big winning plays for us. Been very, very valuable to us, kind of changing who we are.
Right.
On the same subject, what's happening now with Debo, is that because you asked him to maybe accept a little different role, or is it just him maturing?
No, I think I've been on him about, in order for us to be successful, he's got to be back to making the tough, hard-nosed winning plays, being that tough, hard-nosed guy, and he's been tough and hard-nosed and has had, made big 50-50, won a lot of 50-50 balls, and has made big 50-50 plays.
How would you describe the kind of the path of Kyle's career, his time here?
Yeah, Ken, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would tell you right now, Kyle's playing the best he's ever played in his life. I think he's playing as, and I said he's one of the best guards in the United States of America right now. I mean, over these last couple of weeks, he's just been outstanding. Just everything. And it's not just offensively, Ken, it's defensively too. And I think it just goes to the evolution of getting old, and guys get better as the more you stay. I think we've done a good job developing him. Coach Wilkins has works a lot with the perimeter guys, and he's done a great job with Kyle's development. Anthony Wilkins, and I think that's one of our staples of our program. For the most part, we've done a really good job of getting guys better, and Kyle's another true testament and example of that. And probably if you had said, you saw maybe earlier in the season, or even last year, to think what he's doing now would not happen, but that's part of us developing, getting better. And part of the reason we're having the success we're having is our guard play.
Right.
And he's been obviously a huge part of that.
I imagine he's someone you'd want to have back if he elects to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's got another year due to the COVID deal. But yeah, we'd love to have him back.
Do you feel like his being on the floor longer now, and maybe you have given him the confidence that he needed to improve?
Yeah, and that could be part of it as well. And we're just, we're not playing a lot of guys. I mean, I've really shortened the rotation. So guys just, they know they can not, they're going to be able to play long stretches on the floor.
Randy, go ahead.
You can't fret about it, but is there any concern at all about the short bench and the legs this time of year?
No, I mean, look, because you got a game Saturday, and then and then you have 2 days before you play, because you're going to play Tuesday, and either Florida State or Virginia Tech, and then you can't. People have asked me about I said, look, you can't get to Saturday if you don't win Tuesday. I'm talking the conference tournament. So you can't get to Saturday if you don't win Wednesday. So you can't get to Wednesday if you don't win Tuesday. So you got to win the first game, and then you can figure things out, and then you just go from there. So I'm not concerned on that whatsoever. And right now our thing is we just, it should hope, I think we're in really good shape and conditioning and cardio-wise, and got a game Tuesday, and then you got a couple days to rest up or a game Saturday, and then a couple days rest up for Tuesday's game. And then after Tuesday, if you're fortunate enough to win, you got Wednesday, and then you just go with that as the time flows.
Do you have an update on Jayvon and Tristan?
No update because we haven't practiced yet. So we'll practice. We'll just kind of play that by ear, take it day by day, and just see where they are health wise and how they're feeling, and go from there.
Rod.
Talking about Jayvon, if he is able to come back, I imagine you have maybe some tough decisions to make on how to use him based on how the team has been playing without him.
Well, Jayvon's a really good basketball player, and he'll be able to fit in and pick right up where he kind of left off, before his injury. But look, the facts are he's been out for a while too. He's got to get his cardio back, and whenever that may be that he's cleared. So that's just, again, we're just taking it day by day and to be determined.
One more thing. Go ahead, Randy.
Did you have any idea Jayvon had in him what we saw at Syracuse when he came here?
Yeah, Jayvon's been. It's not just Syracuse though, Randy. He's been at a high. He's been over this last month. He's been outstanding. Yeah, of course, triple-double, and just he's been outstanding. And I think it's taken some time for him to. I knew he was a good player. That's why we recruited him. I think it's just taken some time for him to adjust. Like I said, he was, for various reasons, he didn't play at Auburn, and he was injured at junior college, so he played a year at South Alabama, and so, I just think it took him time to adjust. Of course, he got hurt a little bit here with an injury that set him back with his groin, and then there's a segment where he had a pretty bad case of the flu, and he's just taken some time for him to adjust, and he's just taken off. I hope he gets first team all defense. I would vouch. He deserves it. In my opinion, just things he's doing defensively, the shot blocking and his quickness off the floor and rebounding. He deserves to be first team all defense. And I'll tell you, the way he's playing the last month, to me, he's first team all ACC. Now, I understand, because probably where we are in the standings, and it hasn't been from the beginning, but I would tell you that the way he's played, if this voting was just the last month of the season, he's played as a first-team All-ACC guy. And again, I get it because it's the whole season. But I do believe he's earned the right to be first-team All-Defense, again, in my opinion, for Jayvon Franklin.
Tristan, the last time he went to Boston, he had a really, really
7 threes.
Yeah. How much have injuries and kind of things that seem like that have gotten in the way impacted what he's, where he is and where he's going?
Look, I think Tristan's really talented, and Tristan has improved, and he's gotten better, and I think, unfortunately for him, he didn't get the opportunity in the summer, that COVID year, to be here and work out, so he missed that time because they didn't allow it because of the COVID. But look, Tristan's very talented. Big-time basketball player. He's gotten better. He was a player of the year in the state of North Carolina. He's highly talented. But as I've mentioned, sometimes things just take longer for guys. And I think for Tristan's, his best basketball is going to be in front of him. And, there's things that he can do just naturally and instinctively, of a feel for the game and his ability to score that others can't. So he's just got to keep getting better, keep staying with it, and I think he's made a lot of improvements. He really has. Again, that class though he had a little set behind on that first year, unfortunately due to COVID, and then he had a foot injury, but he didn't get to be here during those summer months are so important for incoming guys, and unfortunately he missed that due to the COVID outbreak.
One more.
Has his playing a position where you've had some of your best players maybe slowed his progress a little?
Yeah, I mean, look, what I would tell you, I think Tristan's a really good player, and I think he's going to continue to be a good player and continue to improve. But as I've said, in college, you get 4 years, or now you get 5 years. Technically with the COVID deal. So sometimes things just happen at a later deal, and so I'm a huge believer in Tristan. I know he's going to be a really good player, or he is a really good player, and look, he's helped us win games before, and so there's just been some things that's outside of his control, and right now it's more about, it's nothing against anybody. It's just we've really shortened the rotation, and it's worked to this point. So it's worked for us, and that we've kind of found something that's working right now. So that's been good. But everybody's got to stay ready because anything can happen.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody. Yep.